Good morning, students. In the last video, I have explained about the schemes for the welfare of OBCs. The next concept is schemes for the welfare of women. So, India is a land of customs, tradition, and practices which have been developed through centuries to centuries. So, these customs, traditions, and practices become the consciousness of our society. So we worship female goddesses, maybe Lakshmi, Saraswati, so female goddesses, and give importance and respect to our mothers, daughters, sisters, wives, friends, etc. But at the same time, we can't ignore the patriarchal system of our society and the male superiority. In our society, it is a male dominant society. So, in our it is a male superiority. Will give importance to the male compared to the female. So, in fact, the principle of gender equality are enshrined in our constitution. In our constitution, we can see there is a gender equality. But the Constitution of India not only grants equality to women but also empowers the state to adopt measures of positive discrimination in favor of women. So, in order to empower the women, there are the list of women empowerment programs or schemes in India. So, we'll see one by one. The first scheme is Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme. So the when it is introduced, the year of commencement is on 22nd January 2015. The objective of this scheme is to provide education to the girls and their welfare in order to for their welfare. So next objective is to prevent the violation in the interest of girls and to celebrate the birth of a girl child. So in order to prevent the violation in the interest of the girls want to study, but in the family they will not encourage. So in order to prevent such violation, so this scheme has been introduced, and in order to celebrate the birth of the girl child. Next scheme is one stop center scheme. So when it is introduced in 1st April 2015. The objective is it is a centrally sponsored scheme, and its aim is to set up one stop center OSC, which is to be funded from the Nirbhaya fund. So you can see the Nirbhaya case. So we have the government has introduced the Nirbhaya fund for the such women who has harassed or anything. So the here the one stop center here they have this fund, that is Nirbhaya fund, that is provided to the women. Next objective is to provide support and assistance to women affected by the violence at private or at any public place. If the women is harassed in the private or the public place, so the government will provide assistance, help them irrespective of the caste, class, religion, sexual orientation, or marital status. So that is about the one stop center scheme. Next is women helpline scheme. So it is commenced on 1st April 2015. The objective is to provide 24-hour emergency and non-emergency response to women affected by violence, including sexual offenses and harassment, both in the public and private sphere, including e-family, community, workplace. So it includes all the thing, maybe in from the family or from the community or in the workplace. If the women is violated, maybe sexual offenses, maybe harassment, maybe in the public place or private place, for such women this women helpline scheme has been introduced. Next one is Ujjwala, a comprehensive scheme for the prevention of trafficking and rescue, rehabilitation, and reintegration of victims of trafficking. So the women kidnappers. So here, in order the victims who of the trafficking and the commercial sexual exploitation. So in order to help such women who are the victims of trafficking, or some people, they will kidnap the women and they will sell them for the other country, maybe for the sex work or anything. So who are the victims? The women who are the victims of such trafficking or any commercial sexual exploitation. For them, this Ujjwala scheme has been introduced, and it is commenced on December 2007. And the objective is for the prevention of trafficking and providing support for the rescue, rehabilitation, and reintegration and repatriation of women and child victims, maybe women or the children of trafficking for commercial sexual exploitation in India. So the scheme is being implemented mainly through NGOs, that is non-governmental organizations, to provide direct aid and benefit to the victims of the trafficking. So here they will usually the NGOs will help provide the assistance. They will provide fund for such women or the child who are the victims of trafficking for the commercial sexual exploitation in India, and they will help them. So that is the about the Ujjwala scheme. Next is the working women hostel. So here it has been introduced in 1972-73, and after amendment relaunched on 6th April 2017. The objective is to promote availability of safe and conveniently located accommodation for working women, and with a daycare facility for their children. So here in order to help the working women, and with the daycare centers for their children, if they go for work, then in order to look after their children, the daycare centers have been introduced. So wherever possible, in urban, semi-urban, or even in rural areas where employment opportunities for women exist. So this scheme is helpful for the women, those who are going for the work, both husband and wife, and no one is there to look after their children. So the daycare centers and the hostels have been introduced for the women and their children. So next is the Rajiv Gandhi National Creche Scheme for the children of working mothers. The program was recast by the Government of India in 2006. The objective is to provide daycare facilities for children. So this is also in order for the working women, in order to provide daycare centers for their children, that is 6 months to 6 years of working mothers in the community, and in order to improve nutrition and health status of their children, and in order to promote a physical, cognitive, social, and emotional development of their children, and in order to educate and empower parents or caregivers for better child care. Next one is Swadhar scheme. So a scheme for women in difficult circumstances. So here it is introduced in 2002. The objective is for providing holistic and integrated services to women in difficult circumstances and without any family. So in order to help the women who is in the difficult circumstances, and they are without family, social and economic support, such as destitute widows, maybe widows, they are deserted by their family in religious places like Ridhaban and Kashi, and women prisoners, the women who went to jail, and when they come back the family won't accept them, maybe in such cases. Then women survivors of natural disaster, maybe the flood or a earthquake, and the women victims who are from the survivor of the natural disaster, only she is alive, and all other family members, everyone died because of the maybe earthquake or flood. In such situation, this scheme will help them, maybe providing accommodation and all. So the women victims of terrorist violence without any means of survival, then mentally challenged women, and women with HIV AIDS deserted by their family. So all these women will get the assistance that is under the Swadhar scheme. Next is support to training and employment programs for women, that is STEP. The ministry has been administering STEP scheme since 1987, 86, 87 as the central sector scheme. It was revised in December 2014. The objective is to provide skill that gives employability to women, to provide competencies and skill that enable women to become self-employed or entrepreneurs. In order to become it will help the women to become self-employed or entrepreneur. So the next is Nari Shakti Puraskar. So it is introduced in 1999. Objective is to recognize women who have exceeded expectations, to challenge the status quo and make a lasting contribution to women's empowerment in order to help them. Next is Mahila E-Hat. So here the year of commencement is 7th March 2016. Objective is it will help women to make financial and economic choices which will enable them to be a part of Make in India and Stand Up India initiatives. So it helps the women to make financial and economic choices, and which will help them to be the part of the Make in India and Stand Up India initiatives. Next is the Rashtriya Mahila Kosh, RMK, is also known as the National Credit Fund for Women, NCFW. So it is introduced, the commencement is 1993. Objective is it caters to the credit needs of the poor and assetless women in the informal sector. Not in the formal sector, it is informal sector who needs financial assistance. Maybe she is a poor or assetless, she don't have any property. So this scheme will help such women. Next is the Central Social Welfare Board, CSWB. It is introduced in 1953. The objective is to promote social welfare activities and implementing welfare programs for women and children through voluntary organization. So all these are the schemes for the welfare of the women. So with that I have completed the fifth unit of the Indian Constitution. Last one unit is remaining. Thank you.